Well, if a guy in Arizona doesn't owe the federal government anything, 0.26 times 0 is 0. So Arizona has a vested interest in preserving the myth. Arizona has a vested interest in protecting the lies and the fraud perpetrated by the federal government, because they are taking their taxes off of that fraud. However much the federal government stole from you, we want you to pay us a being stolen from tax. The amount of 26% of what they stole from you. Imagine having an insurance company that thought like that. You know, you broke a window, however much that window costs to fix, you got to pay us that plus 25%. And you better make that premium check out while you're at it. You know, it's just, but they're dependent upon the federal income tax for their income tax to work. So if you're going to be in Arizona, you wouldn't expect the Arizona authorities to welcome you with open arms, would you? Did I clarify it, or did I muddy it up, Sam?
No, I'm with you. I understand. What is the plan for your excursions here, Mr. Cryer, after Florida? You had mentioned within the next 6 months coming back with a bigger blast, and what after that? Are you looking to duplicate this from state to state to state, or what's your plan?
Yes, yeah, we are. As a matter of fact, what we're hoping and projecting is that the fundraising that we'll be conducting by asking people to contribute to this effort at all of these events, and for the 6 big How to Be an Effective Activist seminar, how to make a difference seminars that we'll be putting on. You know, there'll be a modest admission fee there to help raise funds to offset the expenses, but also to raise enough money to set up the initial outlay for the Tennessee Tea Party Squared coming up in the spring.
There we go.
Then in the fall, there'll be a Texas Tea Party Squared. And now, why Tennessee, why Texas? Because those are states that do not hang their hat on the federal income tax system. Again, they don't have a dog in the hunt. And so we can expect a lot more cooperation from local authorities, and which makes our life a lot easier. Now, once we get into those 3 states, at the same time, by the time we leave Florida, we expect to grow our membership in Florida from about 500 Truth Troopers that we have signed on now in Truth Attack to about 20,000. These groups, when we leave a town, everyone who signed up for Truth Attack while we were there is also going to have a piece of paper telling him where their next local meeting is going to be and when. In other words, we're going to not just leave town and that's the end of it. That's only going to be the beginning of it. When we leave town, there'll be an organized group of local troopers that know each other, know where they're going to be, and they're going to have a list of projects for them to pick from for their local area to go out and execute that are going to make Florida aware of the tax fraud that the IRS is perpetrating on people by telling them that they're liable for a tax they're not liable for, by telling them that what they receive for their labor is income when it isn't, and by telling them that they're required to file a return when they're not. So this is just going to grow in Florida to the point to where it's going to be impossible for the federal government to pick one of us out, put us up in a defendant's chair, and bring a jury in and tell the jury, let's burn this guy because he's a heretic. He found out that we're lying about the taxes, and so he's a criminal, let's put him in prison. And the jury is going to not burn him because it's just like everybody knew that the earth was flat once upon a time, and if you said anything else, they'd burn you. But once the information kind of got out and about that, hey, maybe the earth isn't flat, then they quit burning people for saying so.
Mm-hmm.
Well, that's what we're doing.
Yeah, Tom, this is Wayne Johnson. I'm on here on the call too. I've got a question for you about how many cases do you think that there are that the IRS has got out there pending? I think that there are a lot of with the economy the way that it is. There's got to be a tremendous decrease in compliance with the tax. Do you have any information on that, Tom?
I don't have any numbers, but I do know that they are in the process of ramping up. Their budget for prosecutions has gone up, and there's an additional ripple that comes out of that, and that is that the IRS has been applying pressure on state organizations to take on the burden of prosecuting. You got, for example, a gentleman that they wanted to prosecute in New Mexico recently.
Okay, sorry folks, we just had a little system hiccup. We'll get everybody right back on with you momentarily. Sorry about that.
Well, guys, I think the IRS and the government might be attacking us. What do y'all think?
It's just a coincidence. That would be That would be a bizarre conspiracy theory.
Where's Tom? Tom is gone. We need to get Tom back. He was so interesting.
Yeah.
Okay,
right back here.
Folks, you got Sam back on here. Hey, I got to jump. Amanda, it was a real pleasure talking with you. We make a good team. We should do a show sometime. That was a lot of fun.
Well, you're more than welcome to join my show any night on Friday night that you want. I have the State of the State show. And if you'd like, we'll work on a deal and get something going for the two of us.
I would love that. Yeah, Mr.
Yeah,
Johnson, appreciate that. Folks, my name is Sam Otero. Honored to be included in this broadcast, and I would be likewise honored if you would go to republicmedia.tv at your leisure and get involved in the new media. Digital revolution.
That we will do.
Mr.
Well,
Pryor,
hello, Tom.
Hello.
we dumped you. Hey, Tommy, it's Sam. I got to run.
Okay, Tom, yeah, we were talking about the United States government and their ability to intercept. Do you believe there's a conspiracy to shut you up, sir?
I don't doubt that they would do anything that they could to shut me up. And the problem is, though, that I won't.
I don't think that's a problem at all for us. Might be for them.
They would love to. I mean, just recently, for example, and they'll take any chance that they can. They've published false information in the Wikipedia about me. Mm-hmm. I haven't even bothered to even refute that because it's so out of whack. But recently, a letter I'd written to a group of attorneys in the movement was leaked out by one of the recipients, who is no longer a recipient. And the IRS got hold of it, and they put it on their Quatloser site, which is owned and operated by the Internal Revenue Service.
I wonder who was doing that.
Took little excerpts and said Cryer loses it. Well, I was ranting and raving about the fact that these guys are getting away with